What's up, guys, and welcome to the fifth All the Mods progression log. Man, it has been a busy week. Thankfully, because July 4th, I had a day off, so I had some extra time. And man, we have done a lot of things. So I guess we'll start off on the first page. We've done the clean room. We actually have gotten our first EV and IV circuits. IV circuits was like 2 days ago, and EV circuits was beginning of the week, I think. I don't know, but we have this big old clean room, and the reason why it's giant is the only reason I could get it to work was if it was a big cube. So it's a big cube. Um, yeah, so that's about it. Most of it actually isn't in use right now. Uh, I have set up just these things. These things are only the only things that actually do anything in here. But I have plenty of room in here for when it's time to passive the better chips because a lot of those things require clean rooms. Virtually all of them require a clean room. So eventually I'll have to move them in here, like the passive systems, like the higher tier IV circuits and HV circuits and things like that. Anyway, so we do have some IV circuits. They're very expensive, and I kind of wish we could make better ones, but we can't. Not yet. Oh yeah, we've also done titanium over here, and we also have tungsten as well. That's something else. Uh, Tungsten takes frickin' forever. Titanium isn't so bad. Uh, we also got our LCRs. Oh, also, Endstone and Nether Dust. We were already processing those things. I had just forgotten to plug them in, so I sort of just found the machines that were already doing those things. We have our first LCR here. This is used to make titanium tetrachloride, because the way we make titanium is by EBFing titanium tetrachloride and some magnesium dust. You get the hot titanium ingot and some magnesium chloride dust. Uh, this is recyclable, so the magnesium and chlorine that you acquired for this does get recycled. The chlorine comes from back out from here, from the magnesium chloride dust. So it's 100%. You don't have to you don't consume that stuff. It does get recycled, which is nice. So which is why it's not running. It's using GregTech chlorine gas because it's the stuff you get when you electrolyze the magnesium chloride. So to make sure it's a closed loop, that's what we use instead of like the mechanism lithium, liquid chlorine, which also works. We have our distillation towers. We've got one for distilled water. This one distills raw oil. This one distills severely steam-cracked naphtha. It produces 11 different fluids and a chance output of an item. So that's why this thing is absolutely gigantic. GregTech or Petrochem is a nightmare. I thought ore processing was bad, but no, this is worse. We've got some crackers here as well. This one isn't in use, but this one is. We're actually severely steam cracking our naphtha for various products that we need for PTFE actually, because the LCR requires a lot of PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene. Yeah, so that works. Eventually I'm going to go ahead and replace a lot of these other chemical reactors with LCRs, but I've been doing other things. Now we've also passive drilling fluid, and that's over here, because drum roll please. We got our large advanced miners. As of last night, we actually have 4 right now. That's probably good enough for now. I'll go into ore processing in a little bit, but here is drilling fluid. It's just a mixer recipe. And it's not, so it's pretty cheap. It's a little bit of lubricant, mostly water, and some stone dust. So, very cheap. And you produce a lot of it very quickly, so you don't really need like an amazing mixer for that. But we are using an HV mixer. Let's see what else over here. Oh yeah, vacuum freezer, and we can make HV energy hatches. Uh, Obviously, I think. Anyway, um, we can make HV energy hatches, and we do have the vacuum freezer. This takes hot ingots and makes them into cool ingots because GregTech wants you to take even more steps. So yeah, you can also use these things to make like liquid air, uh, which we'll be using to centrifuge for nitrogen eventually. That's a thing that I have to do eventually. Oh right, I put a note over here. So there's something over here you guys haven't seen because I've never gone over here while on the video. But I want to go ahead and show you this. There's just like a giant hole in the water. We don't know why it's here or where it came from. Uh, so this just like exists. Uh, we don't know why this is here, and if we go to the bottom, it's just kind of like nothing. There's nothing down here. We don't know why this is here. So if you guys have any ideas, that'd be willing to hear them out. It'd be fun. I don't know why it's here. Anyway, we can go ahead and check that off. Let's see, what else have I done? Lots of stuff. Oh, right. I already mentioned LCRs and severely steam cracked naphtha. Over here, I did rebuild the 82 processors using laser I/O. This was a pain in the ass because if you set like an item card, like here I can show you. Maybe actually no, I won't because I don't want to pull them out. But I can actually pull the tool out. And I can go ahead and show you. So if you put all these card overclockers in here and you set it, that's priority. Hold on. So if you set it to transform out 64, it will only ever attempt to move 64 at a time. So if it doesn't have 64 of something, it won't move it. Just keep that in mind if you guys also use laser I/O. So that's about it over there. So yeah, I replaced all these things with laser I/O, and it works pretty well. Apparently it stopped working again. I don't know why. We have plenty of redstone. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Normally, like the last time I used laser I/O over here, it wasn't too bad at all. But using it over there has just been an absolute pain in the ass, and I don't know why. It's been really freaking annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Over here we have still the battery, and look, we have 16 trillion RF capacity, and we're almost at 4 trillion. No inputs. Oh right, because these things spun down overnight. Yep. Anyway, this is why I'm not going to be building any more of those things. I have more nitro reactors. I could put them down. I haven't gotten around to it yet because we don't really need them right now. Because we are, we're not consuming anywhere near as much as we're producing at the moment, even with the large advanced miners out. I do want to talk about ore processing a little bit though over here. Last night I filled in the rest of this chunk. It's going to be used for storage, and we've got lots of drive space here. I've started to spread them out as well, so it's a little bit easier to figure out where they all are, hopefully. Yeah, tungsten EVF, LCRs, all that stuff. I do have a note here. A subnet to search ore drives is it's very annoying to try and figure out where everything is. Like, oh, do I have blank in this chunk? And I was wondering if you can use storage buses on these things to like read what kind of drives there are in it, and then like, because they're all named, be able to search like via like an applied energistics subnet looking at drives. I haven't looked at that yet. That was an idea I had last night, but I was working on other things. Like this. This thing is pulling materials from the large advanced miners. They get dumped into here because they take everything and they automatically produce crushed ore. I was concerned that there were some things I didn't have in drives, and I didn't want to flood the system. So everything that's getting drawn into the computer, it has a drive for sure. Some of these things also have drives already. I just haven't gotten around to filtering them in the laser node. And this thing, by the way, can move so much stuff. It can move one stack every tick. It's ridiculous. It's so fast. One thing about ore processing is we go over here and look at our crushed ore. We have a lot, and the large, as you guys saw over here, we get a lot, and we don't actually like process it that fast. We actually process it pretty slow. It's the HV's thermals centrifuges have a 5-second recipe, and I have 3 of them working on crushed iron right now because these things don't have any. There's these 2, and then there's another one somewhere else. The problem is, I was hoping once we hit IV circuits, like around the time we got large advanced miners, we'd be able to make the large multi-blocks. And that's just not the case, unfortunately. We need to be pretty solidly into IV. Like this isn't like this looks pretty bad, but it's not that bad, unfortunately. We could do a lot of this, I think. We have to get some tungsten steel. We just need more tungsten for most of this stuff. But this isn't the problem. The problem is you need the I think you need the parallel control patches. And the lowest tier, the elite parallel control hatch, the lowest tier available, is requires LUV circuits. To get to LUV circuits, we need tier 2 IV circuits and tier 2 EV circuits. So that's like a minimum a week away. I don't know if we actually need LUV circuits to get it, like the control hatch to get it to run. Maybe it'll just do one like recipe at a time, and that would be nice. I don't know how fast it would, do those recipes, but it'd be nice to actually have the multi-block at least, because these things are so slow. And the other option is, because the idea here was one machine for every ore type, so everything would have its own machine. But the machines are slow, and there's a lot of ore types. So, I've already used a lot of the stuff over here. Actually, if we turn around, in terms of the ore washers, I've actually had to stack them now. Just two, and only one of them is actually doing anything. Only one of them is actually doing anything. But I've had to start stacking machines and stuff, stacking things over here, as you guys saw in the last video, and it's just way too slow. And I don't know if there's it's really worth upgrading, like spamming a bunch of EV machines, because we're not that far away from, the IV machines. Like the ore washers, this requires like auto maintenance hatch. Is that required? I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think so. Yeah, just a regular maintenance hatch. It looks like it requires up to EV energy hatches, which we can't really do, but we could make a push for. The watertight steel isn't so bad. It does require an alloy blast furnace, but that's not so bad. That's something we can do. So I really want the ore processing multi-blocks, because I feel like that's like the solution. I feel like, and I don't know if it's worth just throwing more resources at a system that's just, I think, inherently flawed. Cause that's what I have realized, is this system is inherently flawed. It's not fast enough for any real amount of ore processing income, and the idea behind this was it would be running overnight, which is why I was okay with it being so slow, but it doesn't run overnight. So it is just really slow. I was personally thinking we'd just live with it until we can get to the multi-blocks, because yeah, we're, farther away than I'd like, but we're also not that far away. And titanium isn't that fast, and we'd probably be throwing a lot of titanium at it. EV machines are not cheap. So we have 1,000, little under 1,000 titanium ingots, and that's like 2 days of. I was on almost all day yesterday, and almost all day on the 4th as well. Almost all day, all day at the 4th as well. So that's quite a lot of production. And I don't really want to throw that all, again, at a system that is inherently flawed. I really wish I had built this better, but this was my first experience with GregTech, and I think for my first experience, it's actually pretty okay. I just don't know how to build something that's large enough for this, and I have to wonder if maybe that's just sort of the point. I do wish the multi-blocks came in earlier. That would have been nice. I wish when you've gotten, the same tier as large advanced miners, EV circuits. But, what can you do? Because, in GregTech New Horizons, that's the most GregTech that I watch. Because I watch Threefold play at just an absolute monstrous amount. He recently finished. That was very cool. But he got access to multi-blocks way before LUV circuits. I think all the way back in, EV or maybe it was IV or something, I forget. It's been a while since he got access to them. So I figured we'd get access to them much quicker. But no, they're actually much later in the progression, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I'll have to come up with a solution for that, which might just literally just be waiting. Because like I said, I'm going to rebuild ore processing almost entirely from the ground up when we get access to those things. So I feel like it would just be kind of like a waste of resources, because you don't upgrade the machines to stuff. You just have them. Chemical bath. We have, old chemical baths, or something like wire mills. We have old wire mills that we can't use. And Sci-Rise Base, you guys have seen that. Eventually he says he's going to mess with GregTech, and I've offered to just give him our old machines. But other than that, you just literally just recycle them with an arc furnace or something. And I don't really feel like setting that up. So, yeah. Do I have anything else? No, so we're just gonna go ahead and remove all the things that I've completed. Nice! We got a lot done over this week. I'm very happy with it. We were a lot closer to, you know, the EV and the IV circuits needed for the large advanced miners than I originally expected. That's because I wanted to do the titanium tetrachloride with LCRs because I figured they'd be better for that because, you know, I think they're better at mass stuff. The reason why they're better is when they overclock, from what research I have done, you know, Google, they overclock, like when you overclock machines, it's 4 times the power for twice the speed. But multi-blocks like the LCR overclock at 4 times the speed for 4 times the power. And it's also easier to upgrade them because you just replace the energy hatch, which is back here. Also, one thing is, thank you for the comment. Yes, you can just attach flux plugs to GregTech machines and energy hatches, and it's automatically converted to EU from RF, so you don't actually need those converters. But that does mean you spam the ever-loving hell out of flux points. So for things like this, I think I'm going to stick with cables. But when it comes to like energy hedges for multi-blocks, I'll probably just throw flux points on those things. Yeah, so, you know, I'm hoping we can actually get to LUV circuits a little bit, you know, a little bit more quicker than I hope. But I think we're like a week away personally, because we have to, you know, passive T2 and T2 IV and EV circuits, and that's like not in. We need nano processors. So we'll start working on nano, and those need tier 3 HV circuits as well. So this stuff, like, it's the epoxy, and then you also need an EV circuit assembler, which does require, you know, IV circuits and some tungsten steel stuff. So, and that requires okay. So that's gonna be a much larger rabbit hole than I even initially expected. Okay, well, I'm sure that's gonna be fun. Alright, I think that's probably about it so far for... Oh, yeah. Over here, my brother made it a little launch pad because he's going to space. I think that's probably about it. I haven't really done anything over here at Mekanism in a while. Again, I haven't really been using the ore processing as much. The digital miners did pull an absolute monstrous amount of stuff out of the ground for, specifically, that was used in Mekanism ore processing. And I think we're actually still chewing through all that slurry and stuff. But I mean, it's just running, and I haven't been putting any more upgrades into it at all. I do need to upgrade the electrolyzers. I don't know why I thought using XNet here was a good idea. Using XNet with fluids is always a terrible idea. XNet's really good at moving items and absolutely atrocious at moving anything other than items now and energy. It's just so slow. It's just so slow. You get at most like 5 buckets every 10 ticks, and it's painfully slow. Unfortunately, Mekanism machines don't auto input, and you can't put covers in them like GregTech stuff, which is, you know, why I've really started enjoying working with GregTech stuff, because I can just throw interfaces and then use covers to pull from them. Yeah, that's probably about it for changes so far. I'm hoping we can get some more good work done coming in the upcoming weeks. But I do have a pretty busy work schedule ahead of me. This upcoming week, upcoming 2 weeks really. So we'll have to see. All right. Yeah, I've rambled for long enough. Wandered around this base for long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll go ahead and I will see you all next week.